is what I have designed and made, inspired by the crochet work of George Washington Carver. Welcome to a crochet challenge. Today the challenge was actually set by Sarah Moonpine, who said look up George Washington Carver's crochet work and do something inspired by that. And we're going to see what we can do here. I did some research and I came across an article from Piecework magazine that had in it a recreation of one of George Washington Carver's pieces, which a lot were lace work. Half of the fun for me is just trying to replicate something by sight. And I'm gonna see if I can replicate this particular motif that curves and trying to make like a top out of it. A lot of lace work and crochet in general is math. I'm gonna go with that we're doing multiples of 7 and see where that gets us. I am certainly not someone who is familiar with lace work. I'm going to do something a little bit chunkier. I'm using a 3.5 millimeter hook. I am using a cotton. I do think the stitches look a little bit taller than a single crochet. This first one was too long. This second one looks good. So let's take a step back. So I tried beginning with only 14 and then doing 21, and it's starting to look closer to the shape that I'm looking for, even though it's still not quite identical. I need to start writing stuff down a little bit. I do hope that by the time we are done, you'll marvel at my increased speed as I'm doing this. Now I'm attempting this curve here. We're on the third one. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be an additional 7. I don't think the shape here is massively dissimilar. The next thing I need to do is sort of like a chain stitch. So it's forming a bit of lattice work almost on this edge. Gone all the way around there. Now I need to add these little bobbly things. So I think it's time to get out my stitch dictionary. So the little bobbles might just be chains around a little dot. I could use that. And it looks like it's a picot, according to my book. That looks teeny bobbly. I think I might want them a little bit bigger though. Let's try a cluster. If we do a cluster. Okay, we end up with this. 3 of them gives us this really pretty little flowery thingy. I feel like it was a little bit too tight here, so I'm gonna try again. I think that looks great so far for what I want. In order to show you what's next, I need to make another one, and I'm going to do it in a different color. That's always the first test when you have a pattern. Can you replicate it? Like the first time, you know, it could just be a fluke, but can you write it down? Now we have 2. So when I first saw this little lace pattern, what it actually reminded me of was a tessellation. Those mathematical repeating patterns. I wanted to see if we could kind of tessellation lay these out and come up with like a cool pattern. My question is, do we have too many holes? This might not end up exactly like a tessellation, but just thinking about different ways to kind of combine it to form something interesting. I can plop it on the computer, or I can just keep going and just make another one off of here. I think I'm gonna do that. I was just going to get some more yarn and I have this white, and so I have these two, and I was looking at this skinny cotton that I have, but I was like, wait a second, I have a cobalt blue somewhere. So let's see. These are looking really great. And I have to say, these are really lovely and delicate for how long they took. And I think they're getting faster. Off of this blue one, I'm gonna do a white one where I start it on this back here so I don't have to do that initial chain, which will speed this up a lot. This is my boss, Francis. Hi. He's come to supervise my work, of course, make sure I'm working really hard. My first little attached one. I wouldn't say this is harder than I expected it to be. I definitely expect it to be a bit of like a creative challenge, but it definitely is, you know, using my brain a lot to try to figure this out. I don't know how this is going to be turned into a garment yet. Day 2 of our George Washington Carver inspired crochet challenge. Initially, I was only thinking of doing this in one day, but this just isn't something that's very fast doing lace work. I ended up starting to connect these and then build off of one another. I was questioning whether or not it looked like the original inspiration, but then once I got to these, which are the last two that I did, you can really see the shapes, the curves in here start coming together. It's the geometry, it's the math, which is what we love to see and is one of my favorite parts, you know, that experimentation. I'll link a wonderful podcast below that's only about 15 minutes and talks about George Washington Carver, his fiber art history, and love of like sustainability and multidisciplinary activities, which really resonated with me. But it's just really wonderful to see kind of that math come into being. All of those curves started forming naturally on their own, which is really lovely. Yesterday I ended up working on this until the evening. The stitch did get a lot more intuitive for me, and so I don't really have to check the pattern as much. So I'm just finishing off this last color, and then we're gonna have a lot of fun because we're at the point where we need a design to shape this around. I think I have a good idea now of what I'm gonna do next. It did take a little bit of a combination of drawing and pinning. Since this is the top row, there's nothing holding this part of the lace up, so I'm just going through and doing like a little tack on the back so that they'll stand up. And so there's a little bit more rigidity to that. One of the questions that I get asked very often in the Stitch Lab, my crochet community, is if I have a day job outside of YouTube, a pattern business, and a crochet community. This is my day job. But since it is my job, sometimes crochet loses that kind of self-expressive free quality of it. The goal of doing a challenge was to give myself a little bit of a mental and creative break to just have some fun. I think as a crochet designer, it's actually really important to do these kind of playful exercises. It helps me to stay inspired and to find new ideas. If you're wondering what the Stitch Lab community is, it's a crochet space with its own app. You get to hang out with me and some really amazing people and crochet together, and we do weekly live crochet sessions. If you want to crochet with me in real life and chat, you can always find me there. Also hoping I can go a little bit faster today because last night I was technically watching a foreign language film while doing this. So I figure if I can do that, then actually focusing on this with all of my brain should go a bit faster. I wanted to start this morning crocheting on the couch away from my computer, I just have to say, this is the first like sunshine we've had in a very long time. Oh my gosh, it feels so nice. Let me show you where we have gotten. So we have that first full row done. Then I've started on the double-sided row. We have one full side done and I'm working my way this way. I wanted to explore how we think of crochet lace. When we usually see crochet lace on a garment, it's going to be an added detail, a trim, and that's something that I was hoping to try to play with, layering the different pieces of lace to remove some of that holiness, if you will. I've finished this whole row. This is a collar and have a mirroring back piece and then have this kind of sitting like that, and then one more row below so the chest is not exposed. I don't have time really to do more lace. I kind of found a stitch that I liked for the body, but I need something to go under these holes here. I'm doing like a color changing kind of like shell stitch to get vertical stripes going up, but I'm gonna start actually going down since the top of the lace is pointing downwards, and hopefully it's gonna work. Right, so here's the fun part where this really comes together and becomes a piece. I've done all of this very repetitive lace work to form the lower part of the top, and then I just put 2 clips on the sides and shimmied this on so that we can see how this would look. I think you can see kind of where the vision is coming here. The next step is adding this piece here, and I was trying it on the mannequin, but I think it actually looks better on a body. This wraps really nicely. And then we have this, which is gonna need a closure. Closures is gonna be an issue because I can pull this over the top, but I cannot pull this over the top with how it's currently constructed. Maybe this guy just gets clips and this just sits on top. That's an option. Time for the finishing touches. I'm doing a last little, that kind of lattice work with our little picot edge. I probably should have gone back and done something other than just a simple chain for what was actually holding the top of this up. So I'm trying to just give it a nicer finish with a little bit more stability before I finish this as the last step. And I'm continuing to do that color change. Top portion is done. I don't know why I feel like I should be on an Italian vacation while wearing this. Oh, perfect. And adding this little detail did bring it in a little bit. And what a gorgeous day it is. Okay, so I have this part on. Now let me add our little top here. And I think it's looking so great for just a quick little creative challenge outfit. This is what I have designed and made, inspired by the crochet work of George Washington Carver. This is the first challenge that I have done, so let me know if you are enjoying this series. If you have an idea for the next challenge, leave it in the comments. Make sure you've hit that like button and the subscribe so that you don't miss out on the next challenge that we do. I'm Leigh. Thank you so much for crocheting with me, and I will see you next time.